11. Write a brief description or definition of each of the following, and then we have the positron. All right, so what is a positron? Well, we can kind of figure it out by splitting the word into two parts, right? Now, I see that I have this posit, right? Pos something, right? What word, is associated with if someone or something is positive? What word comes to mind? Might be a little bit of a stretch, but did you say the word positive? That's the correct word. So this positron has to be some type of positively charged something, right? Now let's look at the ending word, right? And it kind of overlaps. I'm going to take the T as well. Tron, right? Now in this case, there's, three different particles, three different types of subatomic particles. There's the protron. No, I just made up my own subatomic particle. Let's look at them, right? We have the proton, we have the neutron, and then we have the electron. So right off the bat, this can't have anything to do with protons because the ending, ton versus tron, not going to cut it. So we're down to, does this have anything to do with neutrons or does this have anything to do with electrons? By just looking at this, you might not, you got a 50-50 shot, right? But if it's a positive something, it's probably going to be the opposite of what the subatomic particle is. So if we're denoting that something is positive, maybe we're talking about something that usually is negative. Which one out of the neutron or the electron, which one is the negative one? Yeah, generally an electron is a negatively charged subatomic particle. The neutron has no charge, subatomic particle. And then the proton, if you wanted to know, the subatomic particle is a positive charge for a proton. So once again, if you're already saying that is positive, and this guy's already positive, you wouldn't really have that being the positron. So this is actually coming from the word electron, because generally electrons are negative. But now, if we're saying that we have a positron, put these two words together. You now have a positively charged electron. Now, let's just see how we would write that out in Nuclide notation. So, generally speaking, if you're still talking about it in terms of an electron, right? And electrons are denoted as the lettering E. There's another letter, right? Usually with our Nuclide notation that have to do with electrons. Do you know what it is? Let's do the E one first, and then we'll do the other one. So for Nuclide notation, we'll have these two guys. And then for every Nuclide notation, remember you have a number on the top and then a number on the bottom. The number on the top represents the atomic mass. And we're going to put an E here, right? But remember, electrons, they're not in the nucleus, right? They're outside the nucleus. And the atomic mass is everything from the nucleus. But if your electrons aren't in the nucleus, well, you don't have any mass. So the top number for both of them would be 0. And technically the bottom numbers would also be 0. No, Christina, don't jump the gun. The bottom numbers would be the same. I don't know why I said 0. They're definitely not 0, because then you'd have nothing. You have to have at least some number on the bottom. And that's going to be the atomic number. Now, generally speaking, right, electrons usually are negative. But if we're dealing now with the positron, it needs to be a positive. And for every one positron, you have 1 plus 1 charge. If you have 2 positrons, you can't just turn this into a +2. You have to say that you have 2 positrons. You'll see those when you're starting to do your balancing equations with your nuclear reactions. But for now, they're both going to be +1 on the bottom. So that's your notation. 0 on the top, +1 on the bottom, and an E. Or, remember, your electrons are also noted as beta particles, right? So you can also use that beta notation. But instead of a -1 on the bottom, that's a full-blown electron, that's a full-blown beta particle, you could just throw in the 0 + 1 beta, and that's a positron. So this is your positron notation, and there you go. What'd you think? I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments. I love talking to you guys in my spare time. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, tell your friends, tell your classmates. We might be able to help them out as well. We got math, physics videos, and more subjects coming your way. We also opened up memberships, which we're really excited about. We got tons of perks on there if you guys want to be a member to the channel. No obligation, but any little bit of help helps the channel out, which ultimately helps you guys out as well. So thank you so much for all your support thus far on this journey. We wouldn't be here without you guys. So you're the real, the real supporters, the real winners here. So thank you for everything, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? All right, bye-bye.